Hello everyone! For today, we will be talking about Mission Possible Saving Planet Earth. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Avon V. Saho. Now let's dive into our lesson. Earth is the only planet known to support life due to its ideal position in the solar system, providing a balanced temperature and abundant water necessary for survival. The Philippines, because of its geographic location, is rich in natural resources such as water, fertile soil, diverse plant and animal, minerals, fossil fuels, and geothermal energy. The natural resources which exist in nature and support all living things are essential for survival. So this lesson introduced the types of natural resources and ways to conserve and protect them. So for our objectives, by the end of this lesson, learners are expected to analyze the characteristics of Earth's natural resources, distinguishing between renewable and non-renewable types and their implications for sustainability. Next, to evaluate the factors contributing to the Philippines' abundance of natural resources and the impact of human activities on their conservation or depletion. Last but not least, design actionable strategies for sustainable resource use, promoting practices that balance environmental protection and societal needs. So I am looking forward that we will be meeting these objectives by the end of our lesson. Earth's natural resources are the foundation of life and human civilization. These resources, which include air, water, soil, minerals, forests, and energy sources, provide the raw materials needed for survival, economic development, and technological progress. So they are classified as renewable, such as sunlight and forests,
which replenish
naturally, and non-renewable like fossil fuels and minerals, which are
finite
and take millions of years to form. Understanding and managing these resources is crucial, as unsustainable practices can lead to depletion, environmental degradation, and long-term consequences for life on Earth. So this topic explores the type of natural resources, their significance, and the ways they can be conserved for future generations. So now let's move on to our natural resources. Let's get to know more about them. So our natural resources are the things we can find in our environment that we use to meet our needs. These resources are not made by humans or any scientific experiments inside the laboratories, but they exist in nature. So there are two types of resources. So I guess you are all aware of that as well. So we have the renewable and non-renewable resources. So let's take a look at this slide for the types of resources. So we have the water resources, forest resources, animal resources, solar power, wind power, precious metal, minerals and rocks, crude oil, natural gas, and land resources. So in order for us to identify which are renewable and non-renewable, here's the slide for you. So let's dig in deeper what renewable resources are. So they are materials that can be replaced easily or have the potential to be replaced over time. Like for example, water resources, forest resources, animal resources, solar power, wind power. So over time, you could just replace them because they are readily available. They will never run out, right? Unless, of course, the earth dies. Okay. And the next one is the non-renewable resources. So they are natural resources as well. However, they have limited supply, or once consumed, they will be irreplaceable, right? So for example, the crude oil, natural gas, precious metal, minerals, and rocks, land resources. So why is it that land resources is non-renewable resources? Well, that's because we are experiencing some kind of soil erosion, right? So if we will not take care of our environment, our soil might deplete in the long run. Okay, so I hope that's clear. So now let's move on to why the Philippines is lucky, or isn't it? Philippines is lucky? Well, the Philippines is rich in natural resources due to its tropical climate. So we are located above the equator. So we experience hot weather, and that is why we are called, or the Philippines is called tropical And also we have abundant rainfall and sunshine, which support diverse plants and animals. However, the country also experienced around 20 typhoons annually, causing challenges like floods and landslides. So despite this, rain replenishes vital water sources like rivers, lakes, and watersheds, making water a renewable resource. Watersheds such as Mount Apo La Mesa Dam and Angat Dam provide essential water for communities and ecosystems. In contrast, soil which forms slowly over thousands of years through rock weathering, so that's what I told you earlier. So there are some soil erosions, rock weathering, and organic material decay is a non-renewable resource. So flooding can wash away topsoil, emphasizing the importance of its conservation. So that is why we have to plant more trees in order for us to protect the soil not to be eroded. So now let's move on to our next slide. So let's actually talk about the resources of the Philippines. Aside from the fertile and arable lands in the Philippines, our country is recognized as the fifth mineral-rich country in the world, third in gold reserves, wow, fourth in copper, and fifth in nickel. Why do you think our country is rich in mineral resources? Why? So maybe because of its location, right? So well, the Philippines location, exactly. So the location of the Philippines in the Pacific Ring of Fire contributes rich natural resources. So this region, home to 75% of the world's active volcanoes, experiences constant magma movement beneath the earth. So when magma cools, it forms igneous rock, which under specific conditions can create mineral deposits like copper, gold, and silver. These metals, despite being non-renewable, are widely used for construction, electronics, and jewelry due to their economic value. Additionally, the country's geological features offer significant potential for renewable energy resources, further enhancing its natural wealth. Now you know. So, are we really lucky enough that we are situated in the Philippines? It's up to you to think about it. Okay, so now let's move on to our next slide. So we have here the renewable energies and their sources. So take a look at this slide. So there are some, or these are some of the examples. So renewable energy offers a cleaner and sustainable alternative to non-renewable resources like coal, oil, and natural gas, which are formed from decayed plants and animals over millions of years. Non-renewable energy sources currently supply most of the Philippines' energy needs, with 88% of consumption coming from them as of 2017, while renewable account for only 12%. So since renewable resources take millions of years to replenish and are being rapidly depleted, exploring renewable energy is essential for meeting future energy demands. Geothermal energy is a renewable energy source that comes from the Earth's internal heat. So these are several ways to use geothermal energy. So we have here the geothermal power plants, the geothermal heat pumps. Biomass comes from organic materials such as plants and animals. So for example, the agricultural residue, this includes the crop stalks, straw husks, and the byproducts of farming. So the forest residues as well. So the leftover materials from timber, timber harvesting, and also branches, such as the branches. And what else? The municipal solid waste, household waste, yard draining paper, plastic, rubbers, textiles. So those waste coming from the household. And the animal waste, of course, or the animal manure. So we can form them into biomass. So wind energy, solar energy, hydropower, and tidal energy. So I guess looking at the image, you could already have the idea where these renewable energies are coming from. So now let's move on to its environmental effect. So unsustainable use of natural resources depletes materials and can cause problems like pollution and destruction of ecosystem. So that is why we as the residents of the earth have the responsibility to take care of our environment if we don't want to lose it quickly. So now let's talk about the sustainable use of natural resources. So we want to build a better world for the future. Remember, we have younger siblings, we have younger cousins, nephews, the younger generations. So we want them to experience the natural resources that the earth is giving. So in order to do that, let's have the awareness. So Earth provides us with all the resources that we need, right? So including the plants, animals, we consume them as food, and the abundant water. Water is life, so we have to have a clean water, and the fertile and arable lands, the materials, fossil fuels. However, some of these resources are only available in limited supply. So these resources are being depleted faster than they can be replaced, and it will take millions of years to form these resources. That is why it is crucial for us to understand that we should do what we should do in order to save the Mother Earth. And with that being said, let us dive into the topic of sustainability. So what is sustainability? Sustainability is the practice of using the Earth's resources in a responsible manner that will allow the resources to be available for the present and future generations. So there are three main pillars. The first one is the environmental sustainability. So it includes the reducing of carbon footprint. So using renewable energy sources and increasing energy efficiency to save water. So implementing this water saving technique can reduce waste. Next is protecting the biodiversity. So we have to preserve the natural habitat and also the endangered species. And the waste management. Of course, our government and even in school, they are promoting recycling at home, right? So we do recycling, composting, and reduction of single-use plastics. There are a lot of companies now who are trying to make use of biodegradable packaging. Okay. Next one is the social sustainability. It focuses on the equity and inclusion. So it ensures fair treatment and opportunities for all people. So next is the community engagement. So it encourages the participation and collaboration within the community. So that is why we have some cleaning drive within the community. So the parochial leader will ask the people in the community to clean the surroundings. In education and awareness, promoting sustainable practices through education. So awareness is indeed important. Because if you're not aware of the things around you, how will you know what is happening exactly? And also the health and well-being. So supporting access to health services and healthy living conditions. So if we practice sustainability, of course, we are promoting the health and well-being of each one of us. So the last main pillar is economic sustainability. It includes green economy, sustainable agriculture, fair trade, and the resource efficiency. So sustainable use of natural resources, so we have to practice the 5 R's. So what are these 5 R's? So first is refuse. Say no to single-use plastics such as straws. Whenever you order a drink, make it a habit to politely say no straw please. Okay, so the next R is to reuse. Practice using something again. You can remove gift wrappers carefully so that you can use it again. Don't throw your old books. They can be used by other people. You can give it to your friends, to your family, to your siblings. And the next one is recycle. So that's the third R. Turn materials in the same or different form that would otherwise be discarded as waste. So for example, your old notebooks can be recycled for your paper mache projects. So the next R is to recover. Convert waste into energy resources. Organic matter such as animal or food waste is broken down by microorganisms. So that's the anaerobic digestion, if you remember, to produce biogas and biofertilizer. So again, the 5 R's are refuse, reduce, reuse, recycle, and recover. So the second one, save energy. Conserve energy by turning off the lights and other appliances when not in use. So if it's not that hot, you can turn off the air conditioning unit if you have one at home, or the ceiling fan or electric fan. If you can just tolerate the hot temperature, just turn it off to save energy. Last but not least is the renewable energy resources. We can make use of the solar power and other renewable energy resources instead of burning fossil fuels. Okay, so next we have here the ways to maintain sustainability. So we have number one is the reforestation. Reforestation is a practice of planting new trees and denuded forests. So they will keep the forest standing to provide us with lumber, food, and water. So forests also temporarily hold water to prevent floods and store carbon dioxide to reduce global warming. So next is to save water. So cutting down on water usage not only reduce your effect on the environment but also saves you money. Having a water butt in your garden allows you to water the garden without using water from the tap. So reusing water after cooking or cleaning to water plants decrease your water storage. Next is grow your produce. So most produce is imported to supermarket, which increase fossil fuel usage. So growing your own vegetable saves money. Of course, it's economic, right? And decreases the effect on the environment. So some imported produce creates water and air pollution in the areas it's grown. So next is you have to eat less meat. Why? Because climate change is highly affected by meat industry. This is from the production as well as the transportation. So this industry also has a large effect on landscapes because of the plots needed to house these animals. Eating meat alternatives is better for the environment and fights against pollution. Number 5 is we can go paperless. The production of paper has a big impact on the environment and climate change. From the tools used to remove the trees, the equipment used to make paper, as well as paper is disposed of and begin to decompose, it emits carbon dioxide. So some ways to reduce paper is to switch to online applications, send emails instead of letters, and read books through an online source. Okay, number 6 is we have to reduce energy usage. So it's very understandable or self-explanatory. Sell and donate unwanted items. So recycle, drive less, purchasing sustainable clothing, grocery shop sustainability. So what is it? Grocery shop sustainability. So when we say a grocery shop sustainability, grocery shopping creates a lot of waste. Why? Because of the packaging, which is commonly non-recyclable. So the packaging usually ends up in landfills. Also, most supermarkets sell imported produce, which increase carbon emission. An alternative increases carbon emissions. An alternative to this, using sustainable supermarkets where you bring your own containers for food and produce is locally sourced. If these aren't available, looking for fair trade or organic in big supermarket is a more sustainable option. So always remember, without the earth and its resources, humans will not survive. The earth has a recycling system that continues to provide the materials that we need. It has also a cleansing system that gets rid of and recycles the waste materials of the earth. But remember, this amazing ability of the earth has limits. Hence, we need to make sure that the earth's resources are used sustainably and our waste do not overwhelm the planet's ability to cleanse itself. For our sake and those of our children in the future, we need to take care of our only home, and that's the earth. In conclusion, take a look at this diorama I created. So Earth's natural resources, including water, soil, and energy sources, are vital for the survival and development of life. So these resources are either renewable, like solar and wind energy, or non-renewable, like fossil fuels and metals. And like for example, this one, the coal. Here we have here the coal. So these are the non-renewable. They are essential for human activities. However, their depletion due to overuse causes significant environmental challenges. To ensure a sustainable future, it is crucial to adopt responsible practices such as conserving water, reducing waste, and transitioning to renewable energy sources. Sustainable use can help preserve biodiversity and maintain the balance necessary for life on Earth. So that's it for my discussion for today. I hope you guys learned something on our natural resources and how to preserve them for our future generation as well. Thank you so much and have a blessed day. Again, my name is Avon Saho. Have a great day. Bye.